Only a few days from Christmas, knowing how young her children are, that made it really difficult.
New tonight, outreach from the community and police departments all over North Carolina after a CMPD officer lost her life today in a tragic crash. Rest easy, hero. Those words spoken from CMPD Chief Johnny Jennings about losing one of their own. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Brian Blakely.
And I'm Alicia Barnes. Officer Mia Goodwin lost her life today on I-85 in Charlotte while trying to help others involved in a crash. And while she was at the scene early this morning, two tractor trailers collided nearby, slamming into Officer Goodwin's cruiser. Now, she died, and three other officers were hurt.
The traffic on that stretch of roadway where it happened at W.T. Harris, the exit there at I-85, stayed backed up through late this afternoon as investigators worked to piece together what led up to this tragedy. And it wasn't until Officer Goodwin's cruiser was taken away from the scene that things started to clear up. And now fellow officers and community members and police departments across our area are beginning the grieving process.
Now tonight, new information coming out. Dozens of well-wishers also stopping by to show their support for Officer Goodwin by dropping off flowers, plants, and candles at a memorial set up outside the university precinct where she was stationed. And that's where we find Fox 46's Will Lewis tonight live from the University Police Division.
And Will, when law enforcement, they lose one of their own, they all hurt.
Yeah, that's right, Brian. And there will be a procession for Officer Goodwin from the medical examiner's office tomorrow. And you know, the death of Officer Mia Goodwin is touching everyone in law enforcement and in the community that she swore to protect and serve. Now, like you said, people have been coming by this memorial, leaving flowers. And one law enforcement department has set up a memorial and a place for people to leave their condolences. The wind blows a flag with a thin blue line, and in the shadow, a memorial to honor CMPD officer Mia Goodwin. News of her passing spread quickly through the law enforcement community.
Just wanted to repay a favor to Charlotte. We had several members of command staff that was immediately at the hospital with us last year with the passing of our officer.
The death of the 33-year-old mother of three not only touching the lives of the people she worked with, but those in the community that she may have never met. Some say just hearing about Officer Goodwin's children and it being 3 days before Christmas is enough to make anyone feel intense emotions and grief.
I was really sad by her loss, and I wanted to come out and show my respect to the CMPD community. She supports our community, and so this was an opportunity for me to just express my grief.
We've also had several members of the community calling today wanting to know what they could do to help Charlotte.
There's also her work family. Goodwin responded to an accident investigation with other officers from the university precinct. She had only been back from maternity leave a couple of days. Former and current officers know this will be a tough time for all the men and women Officer Mia Goodwin worked beside.
And those are the people that you work with every night for years. So in some ways, they really become family. So for the officers in University Division, they lost a family member as well.
I mean, our heart breaks for Charlotte. It's devastating, and I don't think anyone really understands the feelings that comes with it until it actually happens.
Yeah, a lot of tough feelings out here tonight. Now, tomorrow, like we said, there will be that procession from the Mecklenburg County Medical Examiner's Office to the funeral home where the Goodwin family is making arrangements. And of course, we will carry that procession live. For now, live in University City, Will Lewis, Fox 46.
It'll be a day of mourning as well. All right, Will, thank you. And that crash that killed Officer Goodwin is raising questions tonight regarding the move over law. That law requires cars to move a lane over when law enforcement officers are working alongside our highways. It went into effect in North Carolina almost a decade ago. That law also tells drivers to slow down when they see emergency lights on the side of the road. CMPD still hasn't said if speed was a factor in the crash between the two trucks that killed Officer Goodwin or if any charges will be filed.